Hello again, and today we are going to be talking about how to clean a semi-automatic pistol. And of course this is going to be cleaning a particular pistol, but the standard rules apply to most all semi-automatic pistols. And of course your owner's manual can help you if yours has any major variances. We're going to be using the Beretta PX4 Storm Subcompact. The first thing I want to do, of course, is remove the magazine. I'm going to set it off to the side. We don't need that. We're going to do our safety inspection. And as we've already learned, our safety inspection is, first we're going to do a visual inspection. We pull the hammer, the slide back rather, looking down into the barrel, seeing if there is a round. We're going to also reach our pinky in to feel and see. That is our visual, our physical inspection, and now we're going to do a functional inspection, and that is simply to cock the hammer back, point the firearm in a safe direction, and pull the trigger. Alright, so we know now there is nothing in the firearm that is unsafe, and we're going to keep this out just like this. We're going to move on to what we need for cleaning. And what we need for cleaning, and as you can see, I don't buy big expensive cleaning kits. I simply have a tackle box that I got from Walmart, and on the top of the tackle box I have written down a list of things that we need just so that I know that I'm not missing anything, and that I know what I need to keep in here. And if for any reason I begin to run low on something, I kind of have a list of what I need to make sure that I keep in the box. The list includes patches, rods and attachments, soft cloths, brushes, solvent, and oil. So go ahead and open up the box. The first thing we'll see in the box is our soft cloth. This is simply a microfiber rag that I purchased, I think, from the dollar store. It wasn't anything fancy. It's just something to keep the gun from getting scratched up. And I'm going to set the gun right down here on it, and in a moment we'll be taking that apart. But I want to go ahead and introduce you to all the different items. We have here some Hoppe's number 9. This is a solvent. This is what we're going to use to actually clean the gun. And then we have Hoppe's number 9 lubricating oil, and this is what we use in a little while to actually oil the gun. And we'll be doing that in just a few moments. We have the Hoppe's, and of course this isn't a commercial for Hoppe's, but they're just a pretty standard brand. Gun patches. This is what we're going to use for when we're actually cleaning the gun. And these are just some extra patches that I have. I keep everything in little baggies. It kind of helps me keep everything separated. We have our bore brushes, and we'll go through in a moment and figure out which one of those we need because we're cleaning a 9mm. We'll go through. We have our plungers. I keep in a little baggie as well. And of course some guys have very elaborate kits with little drawers and tackle boxes that have everything separated. I tend to find that keeping things separated in plastic baggies works well for me. This is my this is the rod, one of the cleaning rods, and I actually use two. So here's my second rod, and I'll explain to you why I use two in just a moment. So let's go ahead and work on breaking down the pistol. Also, if you own a Beretta PX4 Storm Subcompact, you will note right away that it breaks down much different than the full-size version. The full-size version breaks down similar to the Glock, and that it just has two little pins that you pull down and the slide comes off. However, the Beretta PX4 Storm Subcompact breaks down quite differently. You have to actually pull the slide back, and we'll do that just like this. And when you do that, there is a little lever right here, and this little lever swings down. Once you swing it down, you pull until you hear the click, and you'll hear a click. Once you hear that click, there it is. You can actually release the slide, and the entire slide will come off of the pistol. So now we have the frame, which is nice about the PX4 Storm is because a lot of semi-automatics have the pin that pulls out. This doesn't pull all the way out, so no chance of it rolling off the table or getting dirty or getting lost of any kind. It stays in the pistol, which is very, very handy. We'll set the frame off to the side and we'll continue our disc assembly. You have the spring assembly, which you're going to take pressure and simply remove that out of the casing here. This is your spring assembly. You lift up on the barrel, and when you do that, it pops right into your hand, and you can slide that out, and it's got a nice heavy barrel here. All right, so here is all of our components. We have the slide, the barrel, the spring assembly, and the frame. So we're going to be cleaning each of these individual parts separately, and then of course wiping everything down, applying a thin layer of oil, putting everything back in the box. So we're going to begin with the barrel. Of course, the barrel gets the barrel is the biggest concern because it gets the fouling inside from the bullets. Even if you use the, especially rather if you use bullets that are pure lead, if they don't have a metal jacket on the bullet, it can leave quite a bit of fouling in the barrel. And you want it to be as clean as possible because this is going to affect your accuracy. This is going to affect the function of the gun. You want the gun to be as clean as you possibly can get it. So we're going to start by finding, of course, which brush we need to use for this particular gun. This is it right here. This is the right brush, and if you buy a box of brushes, normally it will be printed on the side which brush you need to use. So we're going to put our brush on the end of our rod here, and we're going to also at the same time go ahead and pull out our plunger. We don't need it right now, but just make it handy to go ahead and have that out for when we get there in just a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and grab our plunger, and this is what's going to be attached to the other rod. So we have our brush and our plunger beside one another right here, ready to get to. I'm going to go ahead also and pull out a couple of these patches. We're going to be needing at least 4 or 5. So I'll set them off to the side, ready to grab so I don't put my dirty hands into the clean pack. Also, do want to say it's usually recommended that you wear eye protection and gloves when you're cleaning a firearm. And so I am going to take an opportunity, and I'm not going to be using gloves, but I will take an opportunity right now to go and put on some eye protection because you can have splatter. That's why I'm not wearing a real fancy shirt today. I'm just wearing an old t-shirt. If the oil splatters or any of that lead gets onto you. And if you don't use gloves, I recommend do what I do. As soon as you're finished handling the firearm, you need to wash your hands with cold water, not with hot water, because hot water opens up your pores, and if you have lead and things on your hands, it's just helping it to get absorbed into your system. You need to use cold water. Cold water constricts your pores. You don't have to worry about that. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to get some eye protection, and we'll be right back to clean the firearm.